Hey, good morning, everybody. 17 straight winning trades for this guy right here. Technically 19, but two of my trades yesterday only had one contract, so I'm not going to count them. With that said, we're going to get right into it. I'm going to be talking about Microsoft earnings, Google earnings, what's looking at the SPY today as far as low end, high end, what the ranges could be. We've got the Fed speaking at 2 p.m. today. Let's remember we have GDP, gross domestic product information, coming tomorrow at 8:30. So pay attention to that, whether we beat, whether we miss, what the predictions are. And then on Friday, very important, we have PCE information. So that will tell us about inflation. Okay, so let's get right into it. Let's get into my trades from yesterday because I've been ripping it on fire lately. So let me just add that to the stream. We could talk about my trades and what I didn't get into and what I did get into. First off, I made a few trades. I was in and out of AMD puts. Let's remember, as a day trader or a scalper, generally we're looking at the 1 minute, the 3 minute, and the 5 minute. We get into a trade and out of a trade, whether it's 5, 10, or 15 minutes. I'm looking to scalp. I'm looking to take a nice, safe profit. I'm in, I'm out. It really doesn't matter if I'm correct about the movement of the stock. I want to get in and out. So let me tell you, my play for today is going to be right before 2 p.m. I don't care if I get into calls or puts. Obviously, I'm going to have a strategy, but I expect the market to spike right at 2 p.m., then drop, then spike back, and then drop again. So again, I'm going to be looking for 20, 22, 24%, whatever position I decide to get in at 158. I'm already going to get my entry. And as soon as I get my entry, I'm going to add that 22% to it and put my ask in. That way, when the market shoots up and down, rather than me watching my phone going, oh, I'm up, oh, green, red, oh, green, red, green, red. I'm going to have my ask set. So my phone's going to beep at me and go, dude, you just made 22%. I mean, it doesn't speak to me, but if it could speak to me, it would be like, dude, you're on fire. Do you ever miss? So here's the thing. Let's go to my trades from yesterday. And again, let's just go. Okay, so I gave out Coinbase. You know, at 102.03, I wanted to get into a Coinbase put. Guess where it dropped down? 230. It went from this range to $2.30. Now Coinbase is probably what, $98. It was 102. So a $4 move there. Okay, what else did I mention yesterday? Okay, I was in Netflix, not Netflix. I was in Tesla puts. Got in at $2.60. I took out around this $3, $3.05, $3.10. Where did this close it yesterday? $4.50. Where is Tesla this morning? Down another $2.20. Where's this going to open? Around $6 and change, up 100%. Speaking of 100%, those that join me each and every Monday, I speak about 100% gain that I'm looking for the week. 2 weeks ago, it was gold. I mentioned two positions, 150%, 188% they went up. Last week, I mentioned United Airlines. I shot a short video over the weekend before earnings came out last weekend. I said United Airlines is $54. I said I was looking for United Airlines to pop to $57 or $58. Might have been $55. Got in the $55 calls, $1.18, went down to 86 cents, shot up to $3. This week, I mentioned Boeing. Boeing came out with earnings. I mentioned exit would be around 223, 222. Boeing this morning, 222. Does that count towards my plays of winning trades? No, because I didn't play Boeing. It was too damn rich, too expensive, too dangerous for me going into earnings now that I'm a risk-free, stress-free trader. So what else did I mention yesterday? I was looking to get into some XLE puts. They didn't come my way, so I turned those off, and I got into some Affirm calls. What happened after I got into Affirm calls? 2 at 96. I ended up selling, but Affirm went up to, I think it went up to 140 something. Oh, there it is. 144. In at 96. 144. That's what, 55%. Yes, I got out a little too early. I got into some Starbucks puts. These in at 58. I got out at 80 cents. Small account in at $30, out at $39. A 30% move. So again, yeah, I didn't know where I was going to get out of my Starbucks. Let's like these because they were damn good trades. Boeing ripped this morning. With that said, I also mentioned yesterday I was going to be trading using market net flow. So we'll talk about that, and I will show you the algorithms shortly. But first, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Earnings. We have 20% of S&P companies going to report earnings this week. So Microsoft reported earnings, right? Earnings were good, except for they reported that their cloud services were struggling or not as prosperous as they should be. Now, why is that important? Because you could say, okay, Microsoft's cloud service was struggling. Maybe that will correlate over to DDOG, DDOG, or Net, which is Cloudflare, and those might go down. I saw Net was down 1.5% pre-market. DDOG was down maybe like 2.7% pre-market. Again, I wouldn't chase them down, but I'd let them bounce higher and maybe take a short position if the flows and algos match up. Google had a nice beat. Google's up, 7% this morning. I'm not trading Google. I saw it reject 132 pre-market. It's probably back at 131. If the Qs struggle, they'll probably fade Google all day. But will that be a trade for me? No. What was a solid trade that we didn't make yesterday? Shopify. Shopify did horrible earnings. We always know that they like to spike back up after terrible earnings. Shopify turned around. It could have been an easy put. The puts went from $4. In fact, there was low as $2.80 up to $10.50. So you're talking about a 300% return on a company that already reported. So please pay attention. That would be like Snap rebounding. Snap, which is down like 18, 19%. Snap rebounding only to down 8%. To finish the day down 20%. So there would be a trade similar to that, or Snap rebounding and being down 14% at the end of the day, being down 25%. You could still get into those Snap puts. Now, am I playing Snap? No. Why? Because I'm seeing Meta go up. Meta and Snap are somewhat related, just like Pinterest. So if Meta was actually going down, then I might actually follow through with that strategy. With that said, what else did I want to talk about today? Let me just get my photos open that I like to remind myself. I mentioned the Boeing calls. Again, they were $4.60. These are the 212 calls expiring this week, $4.60. They closed yesterday at $5.60. They're going to open up today over $10. So that's your 100% return there. Dow closed higher for the 12th day in a row, which is the third longest streak ever in history. The streak was returned 5%. Now, if I'm looking at the other streaks that returned around the same, they were like 10, 11 days. So we're right in line with that. I mentioned net flow yesterday, and I'll show you guys when I bring it up on the Discord. But I mentioned when they were separating, when the puts were over calls and they were getting wider, the market would drop. When they became narrower, the market would shoot up. Guess what? Yesterday, market net flow calls moved above puts, which is extreme bullish. Now, again, I have to see where they finish, and I will pull them up for everybody to do. Look at the SPY. We'll look at the market net flow, and we'll look at the Qs, because the Qs actually look a little weak. And then we have all the earnings coming in. So we'll check out net flows really quick. Fed's hiking tomorrow. Yes, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. The market closed yesterday, 3-point range. No, that's from the day before. Okay, so let's bring up Discord and get right into it. That's how I like to start my mornings. I will go into the flow and algorithms room. So let me just go up here. Flow and algorithms room. Got it. I'm going to find all the ones that I was looking at. There's love. Yeah, I always like to look at what other people are checking out. Flow sum of coin. All right. I looked at the top flow from yesterday. That was just so I can put some stocks on my radar today. Okay, so here we go. Here's my search. So first I looked at the net flow, the 5-day net flow for the Qs or technology, okay? So what do we know? The white is the price. Hopefully everybody's looking with me. Good thing you are. Okay, so white is price. All right, so we saw the price drop. We saw it spike back up. All right, calls. So calls are spiking here. All of a sudden, puts drop. Puts drop makes me more wary. Puts came back. All right, what we saw yesterday is why I brought up this chart. We saw the puts all of a sudden jump over the calls. The calls are dropping almost to a net zero premium. Okay, they're about 2. The puts are between 4 and 6. So we can see the puts broke past the calls, which tells me I am now bearish. As the market, the Qs shot up towards the end of the day, right? Because they weren't at this level. They weren't at the 376 level. We finished, at 378, 379, something like that on a high end. It's telling me people are selling off their calls and buying puts. So again, to me, that is bearish. All right. So that's a 5-day. I just noticed it end of day. So we'll see how this continues out this morning. But that allows me to think, okay, I could buy puts on these spikes. Then I look at this 5-day of the SPY. Now, what do I notice? Again, a little while ago, probably half the time, 2 days, 2.5 days, we're seeing all of a sudden puts jumped way ahead of calls, okay, and have since escalated to their highest point so far, which tells me I can still be bearish. Now, as I'm watching this, look at the price of the SPY, 452 all the way to 456, holy shit, puts are going up. Puts were pretty high right here at 454. That tells me I can still be bearish. So again, market spikes, I'm buying puts, okay, and I'll secure my profit. Then we'll look at the general net flow for the entire market. We're not talking about Qs. We're not talking about the SPY or, the S&P 500. We're talking about the market. Okay, so we got puts up, puts. All of a sudden, at this point, it flipped. It flipped, and calls and puts are both at a high level. I call this congestion. When we have congestion in the market, it tells me, dude, take a step back. The market is not sure what direction it wants to go in, okay? So the market net flow tells me congestion. However, the net flow for the Qs tells me I can be bearish. The net flow for the SPY tells me I can be bearish. So I expect the net flow for the market to catch up to that bearish outlook. Again, I'm not entering on market open. Market opens, I'm not like SPY puts, Q puts, something like that. No, I want things to play out because I want proper entry. If I'm buying an option contract and the low on the day is $60 on my puts or whatever calls, whatever I'm buying at, and the market's already played out for an hour and a half, and I can see 60 is a baseline, then I can say, great, I could pay $60. And then when it goes up to $75 or $80, I can take my 25% or my 32%, and I can call that trade a winning trade. Lately, again, I've been trading shorter time spans. I've been leaving a lot of money on the table, but trading extremely safe. I now have 17 straight winning trades, 9 straight winning days. All right, so let's get into what's on my watch list today. Let's go over the SPY real quick. SPY scenarios. The SPY is 454.77. It was 455 when I dropped my Discord video. With that said, let's see if we can get that up on the screen. Stop sharing, present, share the screen. Let's get that SPY up there so we can all look together. Let me just make sure I added it. All right. Add it to the stream. All right, good. Getting better at this kind of stuff. All right, so we're looking at the SPY. I've got the 15-minute chart. Why? So we can go back about a week's time. Why? Because I want to see the ranges. People are like, oh, it's contracting. It's definitely going to shoot up. Well, I want to see how bullish, how bearish. I want to compare the different volumes. We had a good spike taking us down to the 452 level. So that tells me that it's likely, although we're at 455, 55 and like 455, where are we going to go today? At some point, I think we're going to 452 and change. So I say to myself, all right, 452 and change, 5-point range. We could also go 457 on the high side. So let's come up with a 2-case scenario. 2 cases. Okay, we'll give you the bull case first. The bull case is the market's going to fade in the morning. We're 454.82. We'll hit that 455 and we're going to drop. And we're going to drop 1 or 1.5 points pretty quickly within 30, 35 minutes. The market's going to drop after hovering around 455. And we're going to get to 453.20, 453.30. We're going to find support right at that level. It might be 453.50. And then the market's going to shoot up and we're going to attack the highs, the same highs we attacked yesterday, 456. However, remember, the Fed's announcement is today, 2 p.m., so I don't see the market going crazy. In fact, I see mostly chop. So if we do that, we shoot up to 456, we'll likely shoot down another 2 points up and down. So please, secure profit. Don't think the market's just going to shoot up, rip higher, or drop down and just keep fading the whole day. It's likely to be a chop. Plan accordingly for that. All right, with that said, let's get into what's on my watch list real quick. If you guys have any questions, please ask them on the side. Other than that, if you like what I do, please share the video. Tomorrow morning, again, will be GDP. Friday morning, PCE. We might do an 825 YouTube. All right, so I'm just looking. D-Dog, top of my watch list. Again, it's down 3.5% this morning. So my eyes are going to be on D-Dog because I am going to get a good play. If it pops back up to 115, 116, I would be looking at puts on D-Dog. Again, having a strategy doesn't mean that I'm tied to only trading D-Dog today. Microsoft, I saw it was down as much as 4.5% this morning. So we're down to what? 338 right now. Now, the funny thing is, Microsoft before earnings, when I was looking at the chart, I said if Microsoft pulls back, I could see a pullback in Microsoft to the 320 level, 318 level, maybe even 316 level. So the fact that Microsoft is dropping and 338, does that mean I want to get into puts if I think Microsoft's going to 320, another 16 points lower? No, I want to see how the market plays out. Again, they just had earnings. Earnings were solid. Their cloud computing earnings were not as solid or not growing as strong. That is why they're down. Google, I don't want to get involved. Snap, I mentioned, if Snap goes to like 13, 14% and I see it reject, I can get into Snap puts because I could easily see Snap dropping down like 24% today, something like that. It's only down 17% right now. It was down 20% overnight. It was down 14% earlier this morning. I see the question about Tesla. I'm going to mention that again. I was in Tesla puts yesterday. Tesla's down to 262. It was like 268 when I got out. So you're talking about 6 points. You're talking about at least 100% on those earnings. Amazon's there. NEO. I mentioned NEO earlier on the week. I showed you guys on Monday how bullish NEO was. Now, NEO was still $11 and like 20 something cents. Now it's breaching $12.17 this morning. Let's see, DraftKings, AMC, it's on my books. But if you look at AMC and you look at the open contracts, puts versus calls, I think there's like 2.1 million puts and only like 700,000 calls. So although I'd like to be a fan of AMC and I definitely think it could pop, it just scares me too much. I was in those Starbucks puts, so they're still there. Again, I like to trade the same stocks over and over and over again because I'm familiar with them. I'm familiar with the ranges. I understand when they move up, when they reject, how quickly they'll move down. Will they move down half a point, 2 points, 3 points, et cetera, et cetera? So let's see. Here we go. Thoughts on Tesla. So again, I was a Tesla bear yesterday. I just didn't give myself enough time to be correct. Again, I secured profit. Now, the problem with me was the day before I bought 2 contracts. Yesterday morning, I bought 4 contracts. So I got out making money on the trade. However, okay, so you could care less probably about my Tesla trade. You want to see where Tesla's going today. So let me just open up Tesla. Let me find it. Here it is. Okay. 263.23. All right, let's pull up the month chart. I mean, just zooming out, all right, you've got 4 out of 5 outflow days. It had a good pickup before that. People were just waiting to sell off again. You had 4 out of 5 outflow days. It picked up for 4 days. It shot up way too much, and now we're dropping even to a lower level than we were before. So that tells me Tesla still has more room to go down. Where could it go down to? What is this level right here? About 242. So, yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, you're talking about 10%. It's not going to happen in one day, but it'll take some time. But, yeah, Tesla's downside, I'd have to look at the dark pool levels. But, I mean, I definitely can see some more bearish activity with Tesla. All right, question. Is there a site where you can see all or most or even some of the company's earnings at the same screen? Not at the same time. There's no site that like an earnings site, but I like to Google Earnings Whisper. Okay, this is before earnings come out. They're pretty damn accurate. They do a lot of calculations, a lot of analytics. But say United Airlines, before earnings were coming out, earnings were estimated around $4. The Whisper, Earnings Whisper, again, Google it, was telling me earnings were going to be like 440 or something to that extent. I did my calculations. I thought 432. That's why I thought United was going to beat. But no, I just use Twitter. I follow the right people on Twitter. As soon as earnings drop, they drop that information. I try and provide it myself on moomoo or Weeble or something like that. Like a list, Tesla, Amazon, this company, that company, the earnings next to them. No, I haven't seen that. Again, it's just going to be people that you follow. Boeing. What would I do with Boeing? I would fade it. I would fade Boeing. I liked Boeing early in the week. I liked Boeing at $210, $212, $213. I talked about Boeing calls. Those Boeing calls will be up 100% when you get out this morning at 221. What's Boeing likely to do? It's likely to fade, okay? It's likely to fade maybe back to whatever it finds support, 217, 216, 218. I don't really know Boeing that much to follow it. However, I will tell you, the Dow pre-market was down 74 points. Then Boeing had earnings shot up 8 points. Now, understand, Boeing contributes 7 times whatever its movement to the Dow. So the fact that Boeing went up 8 points, you multiply that by 7, that's 56. The Dow went from being down 74 points to only like being down 30 points. And then it actually went close to flat. And now I don't know where it is. It's probably down again, 70 points. Where do I see the put to call ratio? Okay. So where do I see put to call ratio? I'll show you real quickly. Let me just help you out. Share screen. I know talking about it sometimes doesn't get it done. So it's just as easy to actually do it because it doesn't take much longer. I'll go on Discord. Same flows and algo. I will type out TR. I will type out TR. flow sum. Let's look at the SPY, okay? So you can see the put call ratio. Okay, here you go. Open interest. You guys looking at this with me? Puts, open interest. 3.61 million puts are open. About what, half of that, right? 1.76 takes us to 3.62. So 2-to-1 ratio, puts to calls, premiums 80 million versus 46 million, where they calls, puts, out of the money, in the money, buys versus sells. So you can see all that. You put that together with the market net flow, and it hopefully gives you market direction. So let's see. Thanks, man. Maybe I can make a chat. Yes, you totally could do that. First of all, I love my chat AI. I ask it at least 2 questions a day. It's pretty interesting, or at least amusing, the answers. Sometimes it's incredibly informative. Sometimes it's so generic. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure you could ask chat AI. Interesting to see how that works out. So again, my trades today, what I am looking for. I know I am getting in the market at 1:58 or 1:57 p.m. Not sure puts or calls. I know I'm going to ask for 20 to 25%, and I'm just going to put it in. And as soon as it spikes or dips at 2 p.m. and the market's going to do both, I'm going to get out with my 22%. That'll probably be $1,000 worth of contracts, $220. Hopefully, I'll make another $400 or $500 this morning, so I can have a $600 or $700 stress-free day. Remember the 3 S's: secure profit, stress-free, and have a complete strategy. When I'm going to enter, why I'm going to enter. Why do I hold off on entering trades until at least 10:30? The spreads between the bids and the asks narrow. When will I enter a trade earlier than 10:30? If I'm buying the dip like a couple of days ago or for the last 3 weeks, every morning dip was followed by a spike. So you could just buy the morning dip even if your timing wasn't perfect. It's not like that anymore. And again, I'm more bearish on the market than bullish. That is why I need to let things play out. Again, we're looking to be winning traders. We're not looking to be active traders, okay? So please, let's try that. Head over to Discord. Join me over there. I'll put my trades up. Again, 17 straight winning trades. I don't care if I trade once today, twice today. I'm not going to trade more. 2 doctor's appointments. Got my kids. They're both getting their ears pierced this afternoon. First piercing, second piercing, double piercing for my oldest daughter. With that said, I want to be able to focus on the family, the good times. You don't have to stress about you must be in a trade. You want to be successful. So if it means sitting out a full day because the market price action sucks before the Fed is speaking, meaning we're trading a narrow range before the Fed speaks, then sit out. Wait till 3 p.m. I guarantee there'll be a ton of volatility once the Fed makes its announcement at 2 p.m. and at 2:30 when Jay Powell starts opening his mouth and answering questions. With that said, everybody, have a fabulous day.